Hey guys, what is up? My name is YuGiOh, and today guys I have 5 tips to help out all you budget players. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, for tip number 1, whenever you are building a deck, go ahead and start with the cheap cards first and build your way up to the expensive cards, because that'll help you a ton and it'll make the deck be able to be played while you're getting the more expensive cards. For tip number 2, saving up for staples. I've actually done this myself, but what you guys want to do is you want to probably, for one format, build an extremely budget deck, and then right after that, as you don't have a lot of money, you will be saving up the money as you already have this cheap deck, and what you can do is you save up for some of the staples in the current format that you'll know will be transferring over to the next format with some releases and stuff. And then for the next deck, you can build a better deck and also have a ton of staples that'll last you through formats in the future, guys. Okay guys, for tip number 3, save your old decks. Sometimes cards in older decks do come back into relevance, and sometimes older decks do come back into relevance. Especially in this current format, Inferno, Burning Abyss, Lightsworn, some of those decks are not that expensive and they never really were, and they're coming back and gaining price, and they're being just as good as they once were in the past. So just recommend saving your decks, don't just resell, stack up. It also is pretty cool to have a little deck collection. Okay guys, for tip number 4, there's a lot of cards in the meta that are really expensive and hard to obtain, but you don't always have to get the exact thing. You can get a card that's got an effect somewhat like the expensive card, but a little bit cheaper. And some of those sort of include like Mind Crush is a cheaper and a little bit slower version of Ash Blossom, which is a pretty good card because whenever they search it, they must reveal it, and you can activate Mind Crush, declare the card that they just revealed, and have it being sent to the graveyard. So that's one example, guys. There's some other cards you could do this with, but yeah, cheaper versions. Okay guys, for tip number 5, this is something I'm actually currently doing with Vindreads. And this is whenever Konami slowly releases some sort of support for a deck over time, you don't know when that deck is going to be very, very strong. A good example of this is Spirals. Whenever it came out, it was a TCG exclusive that was very questionable and really slow and bricky and not as good, and it just wasn't that good of a deck. But with the release of Spiral Double Helix, the deck automatically spiked in price, making all those budget players, the little Spiral decks, automatically become top tier players. And I'm expecting that to somewhat happen with Vindreads, that they're going to get a very broken support card and they're going to become meta in some way or another. So that's it for the top 5 different ways that a budget player like yourself and like myself can get a pretty good deck to win a few games at your locals or maybe even a high level event. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.